Liz Kendall, Secretary of State for Science, Innovation and Technology. Good morning.
Good morning.
Do you trust Xi Jinping?
I think we're pretty clear-eyed about our relationship with China. We have made very clear that our national security always comes first, and that on all previous visits, and I'm sure today, we will raise issues around human rights abuses, and that is right. But we also want to deliver for our national interest in terms of the economy, and understand that it's a really important market for us.
Yes, of course.
The second largest economy.
On the question, we're well aware of the size of the economy. We've been analysing it all morning.
But that's an important point about our approach. And I think...
But do you trust Xi Jinping? Are you going in with a position of, we trust the leader of this country?
Well, we understand the national security issues, but we also know that on key areas, on the economy and on science, as you've said, where we're firm about our principles and values, but where we can work together, whether it's on climate change, global health, or on the economy, and we can have those good, strong partnerships based on our values, absolutely clear about our red lines, then we should work with China. In my own department on the science issue, our Science Minister Patrick Vallance went to China last year, was very clear about our principles and values on academic freedom, on intellectual property, on the use of data. But where we can trust and have those clear guardrails,
yes,
we will work with them for the benefit of this country.
How about hacking the phones of senior officials in Downing Street? You're the tech secretary.
Mm-hmm. Look, you will understand why I can't comment on national security issues. I think that happened under the last government, but we're confident.
It could still be happening
We
now.
are confident that all of the proper measures and safety is in place throughout Number 10 and from the Prime Minister. But the question for us as a...
Sorry, this is just because this is your area. I know you're not responsible for the technology of Downing Street, but you are responsible for technology in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Can you say that no one's being hacked or tapped right now in Downing Street by China, the country that the Prime Minister is about to touch down in?
My understanding is that is all the security measures are in place, and that is safe for people throughout Downing Street, including the Prime Minister. What we are getting to here...
It's not a great look just before it, though, is it?
Well, this was under the last government, and you'll forgive me for not going through the detail of this. But at the heart of what you're getting to here, Emma, is what is the relationship? Can we have it based on trust? Can it work for the issues where we believe there are potential advantages for the UK in terms of trade, business relationships, but I would also argue on science and research? And can we also be absolutely firm on the issues of human rights, of national security, and all the other values that we strongly believe in as the country? And we are clear-eyed about that. And this is hard-headed diplomacy here in Britain's interest. And I think that is the right approach to protect our country, but also work with China where there are those safe guardrails in place for the benefit of the country.
You're speaking as if we're an equal to China. And yet, how it seems, correct me if I'm wrong, the trip only was given the green light and all signed off after the government gave the go-ahead to the new China super embassy in London.
I actually think we are world-leading in areas, particularly around science and technology.
No, you keep going back to science and technology. I understand it's your beat, but...
You asked me, Emma,
I asked you about the equality and the specifics of a Chinese embassy.
On the equality issue, I'm saying we're world leading in some of these areas. That is the issue of equality.
You brought up hard-headed diplomacy.
Yes, and I've told you where I believe that we have world-leading companies. You said, are we an unequal partner? And I've answered...
But in a different context. It was a very different context. It was about how we're going into this relationship and how we're going into this meeting. You can go back to what we were saying before, but let me update the question again. The trip, is it true? The trip only went ahead after the government gave the go-ahead to the new China super embassy in London.
This has been a long time in the planning here. This has been a long time in the planning. And on the embassy question, I think it is right that countries have embassies in our capital cities. The site was initially agreed, my understanding is, under Boris Johnson. Our security services have written publicly to say all of the security issues there are managed, and they indeed think that bringing it together onto one site will make those national security issues easier than having it on 7 different sites. But we're going in focused on Britain's national interest here. We're under no illusions about the power of China's economy, but our focus is on delivering for Britain. I do believe we are leading the world in some areas, and there's more that we can do.